So we're up bright and early. It's about 5:25 in the morning now, and we are going to be leaving this place because we're not really supposed to be camping here. And this is what the weather's looking like. So it's not a bad day at all. Nice and bright from the east, but still a little bit blustery. For those of you who don't know us yet, we are Carol and Ken, and we like touring in our little red camper, a tiny Nissan MV200 built by Sussex Camper Vans. We offer tips and tricks for how to survive in such a tiny van, and also try and demonstrate just how easy it is to wild camp. Already?
As ready as I can be without having washed and dressed properly.
Right, we're leaving here, folks. Carol doesn't mind the rough camping, but she's always worried about how she looks in the morning, which of course is absolute rubbish because she looks great. So there's a couple of little homemade signs here saying no camping allowed in any of these car parks. A chap was here last night fishing late, very late, just as it was about to get dark, and he gave us a filthy look and then walked across to see that sign, then got in his car and drove off. It's why we're out of here very early in the morning, really. I'm not advocating that we all run around ignoring no camping signs, but after the day we had the day before, I just couldn't be bothered to go off and try and find somewhere else that late at night. Looking out for rocks today, Charlie. Don't want any more rocks, do we?
We don't. No, please avoid all rocks.
We haven't gone very far. We're just exploring the other half of Cemlyn Bay. Now this is an interesting place. It's a house called Bryn Aber, and these walls surround 3 acres of gardens. The walls are built on solid bedrock, and in some areas they're nearly 4 feet thick. They were built to stop rats stealing birds' eggs from the garden. Grebe or something. We're not twitchers, so we don't really know what sort of bird this is, but here's a closer look, and I'm sure somebody will enlighten us. Bryn Aber was the home of Captain Vivian Hewitt. Hewitt was an innovative engineer and a brave aviator whose intrepid flight across the Irish Sea in 1912 captured the public imagination. Now these look like the official National Trust no camping signs. I can't get round to these birds, so I'm not sure if that's where they're nesting or just feeding. It looks a bit of a grim place, but without doubt those walls will protect it from the worst of the winds. I think I know this one. This one's an oyster catcher. There's some more ruins here, which I assume were just part of the estate. This is the Wilfer nuclear power station. It ceased production in 2015, but there is a proposal to build 2 new reactors here at some point. We're all buffed up and ready to go.
All clean and washed.
Let's see what today brings. On the way back out, we spotted this heron fishing. You never know when the bird's going to strike and how long to hold the camera shot. Is it going to strike or is it not? Seems like all our nuclear reactors are closing down. The disaster at Chernobyl and of course the tsunami in Japan really put the world on edge about nuclear power.
So straight over this roundabout.
This is the rather pretty high street in Cemaes Bay. It's surprising what a bit of brightly coloured paint can do to a street. We're going to park down here on the seafront because we've come here to see a bell, and it was recommended by Mark, who we met in Llangollen. It's still early in the morning, so there's hardly anybody about. Normally you'd pay to park in this car park at the cafe as you enter, but they're not open yet. But maybe we'll get some breakfast from there when they do. Luckily for us, the tide is on the way in, which is good because the bell we've come to see is rung by the waves every time the tide comes in. Not much going on with this bell at the moment, so we'll come back a bit later when the tide's coming in.
So we're just having a simple breakfast this morning. We've got some of this custard and cherry tart with a nice cup of freshly brewed coffee.
Tide's coming in, so it's time to grab a shot of this bell before it goes under the water and we can't reach it. This is one of the time and tide bells, and this website will show you the locations of others that you can see. As you can see, the way it works is a very simple design. We have the knocker and below it a pendulum that is pushed by the waves as they roll in. This is one of those strange situations where you actually wish the weather was a little bit worse. Not long now, and it should be ringing the bell, I think. I think part of the idea of these bells is to add a point of focus in a seaside town, and it certainly caused us to visit this place. The bell is just beginning to come alive. Not enough wave action at the moment, so I think we'll come back later when the tide is higher.
Well, I went to check the cafe here in the car park, but they only do like expensive burgers and pizzas.
Yeah, and we wanted a bacon roll, didn't we?
We just wanted a bacon roll. So while I was visiting the conveniences up in the town,
yes,
I noticed the butcher's shop selling hot pasties.
And what did you do?
I went back and I bought a couple of beef pasties.
Ooh.
So let's get the plates again.
And get them out.
Get them out.
I don't think you can beat a nice, warm, freshly baked pasty.
And they were very reasonably priced too, only $3.58 for the two of them.
Let's see what they're like. Now I think the camera lady has come to me a little bit too early for this shot. Well, the first bite is full of pastry. So you'll have to come back to me whilst I manage my way through it.
It's lovely buttery pastry, they're delicious. She was making them in the shop when I went in the middle of the where the customers go in. She had all the pastry cut out and she was putting all the meat in, ready to roll them all up, and like the sausage rolls and things.
Yeah.
So you know they're made fresh.
Lovely. I've reached the filling and very tasty indeed. It's Carol's turn to check on the bell this time. Definitely not the best time to come and see this bell. Just look how flat that sea is. I was talking to an old boy walking his dog a little earlier on, and he told us that all the camper vans park at the other end of this beach. I think the charges for where we parked is £2 all day, which is rather good. And you can stay there, but apparently it's £15 overnight. But here, there's no charges. That dog won't get many strokes going at that speed. Well, I think that's all we're going to get out of this bell today. It's time to move on, but we can really recommend this place. We enjoyed our little stay here.
A sharp left. And we're off. Campers here.
Turn left, A5025.
Looks like you could stay there, but a bit slopey. We need a bit of a change of scenery, so today we're going to head inland to Llyn Alaw, the reservoir. It's quite big, isn't it?
Yeah. One big lake on Anglesey.
Having just gone over the brow of this hill and seen that it's a dead end, I've reversed back and we're going to park here on the left. We almost certainly won't stay here, but in a push, if I park round the other way, then we could, and our heads would be above our feet. Not a bad little spot for a picnic, really. It's a nice little area of grass, short walk down to the actual dam wall. The weather's being a little bit strange today. There's a very uneasy feel about it. This gate is normally locked, but they're working in that building at the moment. We all live and learn. These mats are proving to be so much better than the tiles that we originally put down. Not as warm or soft, but the ability to just pull them out and shake them and then sweep out the van is so much more convenient. You like taking that out and giving it a good beating, don't you, Charlie?
Well, pretend it's you.
Yeah, you pretend it's me and you just give it a damn good thrashing. So much better than tiles, wasn't it? If only we'd known that at the start.
Live and learn.
Live and learn, that's right. Be dirty again in a minute.
Yeah, doesn't matter. Just feels clean. You can wipe your boots.
Whenever I need something, I have to consult the warehouse manager.
The Pringles. And the cake.
Oh, they're all broken in the bottom. Must be your bumpy driving. Tea cake.
Mm.
You like a bit of chocolate, don't you?
Very sweet too.
It's only a small dam for such a large reservoir. You can tell by the bushes just how windy it is today, but behind the hedge it's really nice and sheltered here. We spent the afternoon just relaxing by the lake, and I did quite a bit of drone flying, not really with filming in mind, just practicing so that I develop my stick skills. What are you doing, Charlie? She's having a nap. Now this is most unusual because Carol doesn't normally have afternoon naps. I'll give her some peace and quiet, have another practice with the drone, and then wake her up if necessary, as you don't really want to sleep too long. That's 50 minutes, Charlie. Are you getting up now? You don't want to sleep too long otherwise.
Won't sleep again tonight.
Exactly. Do you enjoy that?
It's lovely.
It's nice just being able to flop that bed, isn't it? And have a little nap whenever you need one.
Yeah, it's lovely and peaceful here.
Yeah, it is.
Oh, I thought the sun was coming out then.
No. That's set for the weekend, I think.
Yeah, it's due to be nice by Sunday, I think. Good.
Carol persuaded me to have a cream tea. Very nice, Bunny.
Good.
It was your idea, though. After your little nap.
I can beat you.
Too righty. I'll see you in a minute.
Okay.
Don't know if you can hear me in all this wind, but this is typical of van life. Up there in the van, no internet signal. A few feet down here and I've got 4G at 50 megabits per second download. So I'm coming down here to get some files I need for the next film, which proved to be a mistake. This can happen to you, caught in the pouring blooming rain. This is what a fat lad looks like when he's running away from something. Door open and she's ready to receive. Hang on, I've got to wipe my feet, there's a load of mud on me. There you go. I was just grabbing the last file, so I was determined to get it.
You got wet.
I got wet. No damage done.
So we've just left the reservoir and we're off down the country lanes looking for a good phone signal.
Back where we were, I had a great download speed, but upload was pretty poor. And you need a good upload speed if you're going to be uploading a video to YouTube. Otherwise it can get a bit tortuous. Yeah, hasn't it? Yeah. This is still the lake on the right hand side. I love the way those pylons are marching into the mist. There's a place here on the right that we recognise from watching Nick Rome's series on Anglesey. Don't know what this is on the horizon. Reminds me of that film War of the Worlds, when one of the machines has been disabled.
Mine?
Yeah.
There are copper mines here. I don't go there now, can't see a thing.
No. This is Parys Mountain. Basically it's the spoil tips from a huge open cast copper mine. This was a potential park up for the night, but it's got several problems. Obviously it's very windy and exposed, and I don't like the bend of that road, and if a vehicle was to leave it, it could soon collide with us. We were going to have our evening meal here. Beautiful view, but I don't like being on a bend like that, so we're going to find somewhere else maybe to have our evening meal and possibly spend the night. We don't want to spend the night down in the town, so we're going back the way we came. Never seen a church built like this before. It's quite an interesting design, really. The GPS wants me to take this turning on the left, which is a tiny narrow little road, so I'm just going to ignore it.
It's coming up 0.4 of a mile on the left.
We've come back to Parys Mountain. The weather is no good for seeing it, but maybe if we can spend the night here, we'll be able to see it tomorrow. 2.3 metres, no problem.
Coming from the right, so
let's point
try
our
and
nose.
shelter us behind this.
Oh, behind here might be good.
There's a handy little pillar.
It's always good to make use of natural barriers to keep the wind off you, but beware of trees, just in case they come down during the night.
This will do us.
This will do us. Even though the wind is being picked up by the microphone, this is actually a very sheltered little spot. And it's a beautifully smooth car park in great condition. Pretty grim tonight. Let's get in the warm. So no roof, I'm afraid.
Inside.
Oh, it's lovely in here, yeah.
Sheltered.
This van is just a wonderful shelter, isn't it, really? If we put the roof up, it will be above that hedge line, so I don't think we'll bother tonight.
Just get rid of stuff while I'm cooking. The easiest way to prepare food when the roof's down is with a tray on your lap as your working surface.
Yeah.
And that works fine. And now I've got this mat as well as another hard surface.
I like that board. Can
Yeah.
you demonstrate how that board becomes a mini table in the sink?
Yeah, if you can't put this glass roof lid down
Because of the...
because the gas is on,
Yeah.
then you can just put this here. And it's quite a solid surface just to put things on.
Yeah, and it's away
If
from
you
the
need
flame.
more space, and it's,
a
far enough
tiny
away
little
from
bit
the
more
flame.
space.
Yeah, another surface for you.
That's good.
And also I've got my little mini bin, my empty Pringles tin. Here's my little mini bin.
Your little mini bin. So are you
Yeah.
going to keep that running, or are you
It
just going to
rests
throw
in
it
my
away?
shoe.
Rests in my shoe!
It's just until we get to a bin to dispose of it.
Yeah, good idea,
It doesn't
Charlie.
take up room in our main bin.
No, exactly.
Little things.
Little things.
So this is what we're having tonight. Cod fillets with a creamy parsley sauce. Bought these in Aldi.
We'll tell people what they're like, won't we, Charlie?
Well, so first of all, in the bowl I'm putting the boiled new potatoes and sprouts and plenty of salt and pepper and butter. And then over the top we have the cod in parsley sauce.
This looks tasty. Sadly, when I'm eating food, I lose all concentration on where to point the camera. Looks a bit hot at the moment. Oh, sprouts.
It's very easy.
My absolute favourite. That was amazing, that fish. We'd have that again, wouldn't we?
Yeah, that fish was really tasty.
Absolutely perfect with some sprouts and potatoes. That was a triumph, Charlie. Thank you very much.
And I just cooked it in the Ridge Monkey for about half an hour on a really low heat. Didn't have to turn it or anything, just cooked it.
Yeah, perfect. I always like a white sauce, a creamy sauce.
Yeah, it's nice.
Yeah, definitely make a note of that one. If you enjoyed this video, please give us a like and consider subscribing for more adventures from the Little Red Camper.